Good evening. Welcome to another edition of the 411 Talk Zone radio show. My name is Leon Jones. This evening's topic: married but seeking an outside relationship. Now, social media, as I explained, has been a downfall of a lot of relationships and a lot of morals and values, but we continue to use social media for our own pleasure. And when it comes to meeting people, we go out with the old of meeting people in person to now utilizing the likes of a computer, apps, dating sites. But what happens is people can write and say anything they want in order to attract a certain type of person. But the deal is, you don't know what their agenda is. Everybody has an agenda at one time. Why? Because a number of us are selfish. When you are married / separated and you're seeking a relationship but you're still living with your ex, you have not closed the deal of dissolving your previous relationship while you're looking for another one. It makes no sense, because what's going to happen is you're going to take that baggage from the relationship you're in to the next relationship. And you're going to think rationally. You're going to compare this new person to the old person. The same conflict you had previously, you're going to have in this new relationship. Why? Because you're not ready to date. You have to give yourself time. But when you're meeting foreigners, particularly a number of individuals from Russia and Nigeria, you have to be on your P's and Q's. Now, a subscriber of mine sent me an email about her sister who did just that. What she did, she was in a marriage for 12 years. She separated from her husband, but they still lived together. But while she was separated, she went online and she met a foreigner who was much younger than she was. From what my subscriber told me, her sister is 42 years old. Okay, that's 11 years younger than I am. Than me, rather. I'm 53. Now, here's the kicker. Because I asked my subscriber, does the person she is talking to have children, and does your sister have children? Well, the person that she's talking to didn't have children, and he was 28 years old. But she had 2 grown children. Now, let's do the math. She had a 26 and a 21-year-old, and the guy she was dating was 28. And after she dissolved her first marriage of 12 years, then she married this other guy. And she tried so many times to get this guy from Nigeria over to the United States. In fact, she spent a lot of money. She bought this guy a car while she was fixing up her old car. She even bought this guy a box truck. And my understanding is, why would you do any of that? Where did you get all this money from? The only thing that I might be able to put my finger on is she probably got it from her ex-husband. But let me back up for a moment. I have to look at this situation and ask, what kind of decision making do you have if you are giving all your money away to a foreigner you marry that person, and now you're trying to find out if that person loves you, when it's all over the air, written all over his face, he wants a green card. Because from the email, his green card is expiring in 2018. Now I'm bringing this out because this happens. I had a friend named Lucy. She gave up $4,000 to a Russian off of one of these dating sites. Didn't mean to put her name out there, but I had to call it the way I call it. My question is, are you that desperate to want to date somebody that you don't have any idea of who he is? What about the family background? What about what he did for a living? And I don't have any idea why you had a child at 16 years old and another one at 21. Were you married when you had the children? See, these are questions that you must pose to somebody even when you date them. Because even if it wasn't a foreigner, if I would look at this person who's coming to me, and I'm a young guy, and a lot of young guys want an older woman, but these older women aren't going to do you young guys any good but have sex with you. Because there are a number of older women out there who really want to compete with the younger women. They're at the clubs. They're trying to do everything that their daughters are doing instead of actually being a parent to their daughters, trying to teach them how the real world works. Unfortunately, when you have a number of these women out here, they don't teach their daughters how the real world works. Now, men will teach your daughters how the real world works when they're there, but moms only teach their daughters how their world works. And what happens? You got a cycle on top of a cycle on top of a cycle of single motherhood. But going back to the email that my subscriber had sent regarding meeting individuals who are foreigners on Facebook. You got to be very careful when you're talking to somebody. Because let me let you in on a secret. You have a number of these individuals who will tell you they're from New York, New Jersey, or even Florida, but they don't have a number that you can reach them. What they do, they have a Google number. And they're always going to tell you that they have a problem or they have this big business deal that they can help you with to get you started, but you have to pay them money. Anytime somebody who's a foreigner is asking you to give them some money so they can get in this country, you messed up. And that's what social media has done. And I'm putting this video out there because I want everybody to be aware of what happens when you're not paying attention to someone you're talking to because you think you have somebody that loves you. Now, of course, my subscriber's sister was wondering just that. Well, does he love me? How is he treating you? How is he treating the kids? I mean, when you are 42 and you marry somebody 14 years younger and that person you married is 2 years older than your oldest child, that's a problem. I mean, I'm 53 years old and I don't go out with anybody below 50 because I think a number of women still have a lot to learn about what it is to be a woman and how the real world works. But when you are meeting somebody on social media and they're a foreigner, The answer to all this is the person coming over here in America, to America, and you're paying their way, they want to get a green card. They want to stay over here. They'll marry you to get in this country and then drop you. When I was in the Navy, a number of Filipinos did that. Now, why did I bring all this up? Because there are a number of brothers out there, you're on YouTube, that say go for foreign women. And you have some sisters that say go for foreign men. Let me be clear about something. I don't care if they're domestic or foreign. The individual that you're seeking or who's seeking you, if they have an agenda, you need to call them on it. And if they don't give you a direct answer, you need to observe their actions. Because social media is a good place to scam people. And you have a number of individuals utilizing the dating sites as a prostitution ring to get people not only to have sex with them, but to also buy them dinner. Now, this person who met that foreigner paid roughly $14,000 to get her husband a car, fix her old car, get him a box truck, and get him over to this country, and paid an additional $3,000 for his bills. Now, if you do the math, that's close to $15,000. Now, again, I have to ask, where did she get $15,000 from? Did her husband have to pay her alimony? Did she borrow the money? Who knows? But the bottom line is, if you are married / separated, you have to get out of that contract before you step foot into another relationship. In fact, you shouldn't even think about dating until you get yourself together. And I'm just going to be honest. Social media is no longer the best place to meet somebody to date. You're better off going out to the real world to meet somebody. And you should meet somebody who is equally yoked. When I was on online dating, I knew who the scammers were. And I didn't entertain them. Because I knew what their agenda was. It wasn't about me. But if I was dumb, I would have invited the scammer over and have given up part of my life, which involves my time and money, to enhance their life. What I am delivering tonight when it comes to dating is a measure of being cautious if you're dating online or if you're using Facebook. Because you have a number of people who just want to scam you. Again, as I mentioned, social media has been part of this eroding society because it makes undesirable people desirable. And when that happens, these undesirable people go from being a 0, now they think they're 10s because somebody's giving them some attention. And when you deal with these scammers, the best thing to do is not give them any attention, because once you give them attention, they're going to try to find all of your information. I had another coworker who got scammed out of $7,000 when I worked for PennDOT, because she had left the marriage and she got desperate. She went online to look for somebody, and she never met that person, but she was out of $7,000. What you individuals have to do is use your head. If you get an individual asking you for money and you hadn't met them, you better do the snagglepuss exit stage right. Because once you give that person attention, they're going to try to charm you into giving up what you preciously earn, and that's your money. Now, of course, from this 42-year-old, she should know better. I don't feel sorry for her because she knows right from wrong. She knew what she was getting into, but she decided to jump right in it without thinking. And when you put feelings over critical thinking, this is what happens. Now, it's not just women who get scammed online. Men also get scammed. There's a show out there called Catfish. And I saw some videos where guys thought they were meeting a woman and it was a man. You got to realize when you're behind that keyboard, you don't know who's on the other side of that keyboard responding to your questions or having a conversation with you. There was a show out there called 2020. And you had guys looking for 13-year-olds. Well, when you're behind that keyboard looking for a 13-year-old, on the other side of that keyboard were the police. And these guys, they were so desperate to look for a 13-year-old, they gave all their information to the police and they got arrested. You can see these shows on Dateline 2020. Now, I like social media, but if you're going to be on social media, you must be careful. And when you are in a relationship or you're married and it's not working out, you get out of it. And you take your time to get yourself together, even if you have to go see a psychologist and a psychiatrist, because you're going to have some wounds. You have to close those wounds before you get into another relationship. I don't know why people think that they can go from one relationship to another and have this new relationship last when they just got out of an old one. And I don't know how people can have 2 or 3 relationships at a time, because to me that would sound very stressful. But you have a number of individuals who think they can do it. And that's why they have a lot of psychological problems. Now, of course, this person, he had no money. He's 28 years old. He had no job. And this woman is just basically giving herself up to him. Flying in, meeting his family, trying to get to know this guy. But I bet you he never came over to meet her, because he wasn't interested in her the way she was interested in him. He was interested in what he can get from her. That's right. He was interested in what he can get from her. It sounds familiar because we men go through that all the time. I always tell you this about the truth. You can disagree with how philosophies are put out there, how messages are presented, but you can never deny the truth. The truth is always going to slap you in the face, whether you want to believe it or not. And when it comes to relationships and social media and loyalty, I can't blame everything on social media, because social media is just a platform. It's the person who utilizes that platform to cheat. And I want to tell all of my subscribers out there, be careful when you get on this social media. Again, I saw another video from a video that Tommy did where a guy killed his girlfriend and his girlfriend's son on Facebook Live. And when I bring you these examples, you got to be careful with who you are trying to have a relationship with. Again, people are dishonest out here. They're going to use any means necessary to try to extract something from you to benefit themselves. And the biggest tool out here is social media. It's great that we all want to date. But when it comes to these foreigners out here, a lot of them love to scam. And it's usually people from Nigeria, India, and Russia. Those are the ones you have to be careful with. They may not be in this country, but they can have a phone number through Google with a New York or a New Jersey or any area code that's in the United States. And the bottom line with this woman, she should have known better. I mean, you're giving up $5,000 to bring this man over to the country. You marry him, and then his green card expires in December. Makes no sense. You're giving up $5,000 to buy this man a car, $4,000 to get your car fixed, and another $4,000 to get a box truck. Well, what kind of job were you trying to get this person? Sounds a little bit shaky to me. But nevertheless, my subscriber asked me to do this video so I can give her my point of view. And my point of view about this is your sister got what she deserved because she knew better. First of all, when you start out and you're married, you're living with your ex, you're still married, you're on social media seeking another relationship, that's where the first problem occurred. And then you seek a foreigner who is much younger than you are. Why? I don't know. But some of these older women want some of these younger guys so they can control them and manipulate them. I don't know what the deal is with this person. but it's all too common that I've seen this. And everything is via social media. And let me give you a piece of advice out there too. If you're going online finding dates and you ask a woman or a man for their phone number, or you give them your phone number, whoever you're seeking, and they tell you, well, I just want to talk to you on site, you already know that's not going to work. And they're not interested in having a physical relationship. Why? Because number one, they already have somebody, and number two, they're looking for the attention. And there are men and women, even in my age group, still playing that game. It's because they're hiding behind social media. They're not interested in having relationships. And this person who is 42 years old, a sister of my subscriber, I'm not going to mention my subscriber's name up there. I'm going to have the respect not to do that. But when you're over the age of 40, you should know a lot more than somebody who's 20. I know my own daughters wouldn't have done that. And I want to tell a number of you women something. Because a number of you love social media. If you want to meet a decent person, everybody's not on social media. Get out there in the real world, and you can find some good people. And a number of you women need to be honest with yourselves when it comes to relationships. And I'm speaking to the women only because a number of you women are very irrational when it comes to dating. I know the feminist movement said you women could do everything. Chickens have come home to roost. You can't. You're human just like we men. And fellas, be honest with yourselves too. Work on yourself before you seek a relationship. There are places you can get out there and meet good people. And if you're looking for a serious relationship and a partnership, make sure you're not in one already. Because there is another thing about social media. People can check your Facebook page. Especially if you have a lot of friends on your Facebook page. What social media has done is taken a big world and it's made it smaller. But you still have to have morals and values while you're utilizing this platform. And that goes for YouTube. That goes for Twitter, Instagram. Because a lot of us who utilize social media / YouTube, we're not celebrities. We just utilize this platform to deliver messages. And that's what I'm delivering tonight. Now, I may have been a little long-winded with this video, but I wanted to get this information out and use this email that my subscriber sent me as an example to let you know that if you aren't honest with yourself, you get caught up. You get played. And at the end of the day, you look like a fool. And nobody's going to come and save you. So, the conclusion to this video is when you utilize social media, particularly for relationships, make sure you're honest with yourself. Know what you're looking for on social media. And if it looks suspicious, don't seek it. Because at the end of the day, you're going to be the one who's going to lose out. Social media is a good tool, when you abuse it, shame on you. The social media is not going to suffer, but you're going to suffer. So when it comes to relationships, get out of your previous relationship. Take time for yourself, then seek another relationship. Because at the end of the day, love is going to be there as long as you have love for yourself and honesty for yourself. And that's my commentary for this edition of the 411 Talk Zone Radio Show for this evening, Saturday, April 14th, 2018. You can tune into the 411 Talk Zone Radio Show every Saturday from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. on Blog Talk Radio. Guest call-in number is 215-383-5785. If you like my videos, please share and subscribe to the 411 Talk Zone Radio Show right here on YouTube so I can continue to give you quality information for educational purposes from a professional and mature perspective. Now, on my channel, I don't debate, I don't do controversial issues, nor do I do emotional issues. If the issues seem to be controversial, that's because you as the audience member are utilizing emotion. And this is why I do not participate in drama and or unnecessary bickering, because it is counterproductive. My channel is strictly an educational / self-awareness channel. I'm trying to give you the knowledge of what's going on out in the real world so you don't be like this person on social media contacting foreigners who are looking to get into this country off of your money. And if you have a topic, a new YouTube channel, or business that you would like for me to do on YouTube or Blog Talk Radio, please email me at lej6521@gmail.com. And if you have a comment, please leave your comment in the comment section under the video. But make sure that your comments are pithy. No bloviating, pettifogging, or filibustering if you wish to opine. Now that's it for this video. Till next time, my name is Leon Jones. Remember, please be gentle and respectful to each other and have a wonderful and blessed night. God bless you and good night.